So by this point, you probably know my love affair with the iPad and the iPad Pro specifically, and when iPadOS 26 released last year at WWDC, it was this aha moment where finally, us iPad users got what we wanted with the floating windows, a traffic light design for managing those windows, and multitasking. Everything just got a little bit more Mac-like, while keeping the essence of what makes an iPad, which is that it's always going to be a touch-first interface. But now, with WWDC coming around the corner, iPadOS 27 is set to release, there's 4 new features coming to the iPad that are going to be extremely beneficial moving forward. It's going to make our workflow and just our day-to-day usage of it that much smarter. Let's talk about it. But again, before we continue, if you guys do enjoy videos like this one and you want to get some real-time coverage of WWDC on June 8th after 1 p.m. Eastern Time, consider subscribing to the channel and help us get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. But let's talk about the first one, which is going to make the iPad that much better. So the first feature is going to be all about AI Apple Intelligence powered tabs in Safari. So as of right now, you can create Safari groups and you can customize different kind of personas inside of Safari. So you have a business version, a personal version, a finance version. But as somebody who has 20 to 30 tabs open at the same time, being able to have Apple Intelligence group these together into one kind of pinned tab group is going to be a much better situation than what we have right now, where you have to manually create everything. So I can just imagine opening things up, having my one tab group, which is going to be my 3 different emails, another tab group, which is all about my personal finance and credit cards, another tab group, which has all my research tabs open. So this getting implemented into iPadOS 27 inside of Safari with Apple Intelligence tab groups is something that I'm really looking forward to for my day-to-day sanity overall inside of Safari on my iPad Pro. The second feature coming to iPadOS 27 is going to be a revamped Spotlight. Now, I use Spotlight every single day. That's how I get to my applications. That's how I get some smaller actions done. You can run shortcuts from there. And Spotlight got a huge upgrade inside of macOS 26 last year, and a lot of that, plus all the Apple Intelligence features coming to Spotlight, will be added to iPadOS 27. So basically, that Spotlight search tab becomes the central hub to run pretty much any action inside of your iPad moving forward. For example, it'll be able to launch applications, send messages, create calendar events from the Spotlight tab, search notes, run shortcuts, ask questions, search the web with Apple Intelligence in the search engine, and then be able to communicate with the new Siri 2.0, which is going to create these kind of rich UI cards to help you kind of navigate things when it comes a little bit more specific. So think of Spotlight as a central hub to control the rest of your iPad and everything that comes with Apple Intelligence, as well as this new Siri revamp of Siri 2.0. So the next one, which is going to open up a huge door for a lot of people, is going to be Apple Intelligence generated shortcuts. So if you guys go into the shortcuts application, it's actually probably the most well thought out and most robust application that Apple makes from a native standpoint for the everyday user. You can go there and create a simple shortcut that just has one action, or you can go absolutely insane with some frame shortcuts that we've seen. I know Steven Robles makes some insane shortcuts as well that kind of pulls a bunch of different things into one aspect, but it's almost like a quasi-coding situation where you need to know what you're doing. It gets a little bit complicated or very complicated if you really want to get into it. But now with the new Apple Intelligence powered shortcuts application, you'll be able to tell Siri what you want with natural language, and then it'll spit out some shortcut for you that'll get you from point A to point B. Now, the structure of that shortcut could be different every single time that you generate it, but at the end of the day, it should work where you get from one point to the other point by just giving Siri and the shortcuts application what you want in a prompt via natural language, which I think is a future of where we're heading towards. And then lastly, we should be getting some sort of system-wide grammar check. Now, there's already a grammar check built into iPadOS and just iOS in general, but think about this one as more like a Grammarly, where, right, of course it's going to do some grammar checks, but then it'll also help you out kind of reshaping your sentences. Basically the writing tools that we got with iOS 18, but probably the way that we wanted them to work in the beginning. Because even to this day, I never use the writing tools because of how tedious it is and how much friction there is to really use it in a meaningful manner. So getting some kind of Grammarly overlay, but built in from iPadOS 27 natively into the iPad is going to be great for whenever you are writing things or taking notes or even sending text messages and things of that nature. But the overall theme for iPadOS 27 is going to be all about making it smarter for everyday use. iPadOS 26 was a huge visual overhaul, and we actually got some functional differences with the multitasking and being able to use it as a more of a laptop replacement, which is what we've wanted for a long time. But now this is going to be all about revamping everything, tightening everything up, making sure that things are working the way that they should, but overall just make it smarter so it's easier to use your iPad on a day-to-day basis, and that's what's going to happen with iPadOS 27. So those are the 4 big changes coming to iPadOS 27. Hopefully there's a little bit more of a wow moment, but I do think that this one's going to be more of a tame year because, like I said, iPadOS 26 is what really kind of made the iPad shine, and if anything, it, in my opinion, was like the showstopper of all of WWDC last year. So this year, they're going to probably take it back a little bit and only have a small little section about making the iPad smarter and how it's going to work in the ecosystem, and more importantly, how it's going to work with this new Apple Intelligence. But let me know in the comment down below, what do you want out of your iPad? Do you want them to bring back the old slide over, the old multitasking, the old split view? Do you want to have some toggle to do that? Do you want to be able to toggle the old iPad and then toggle over macOS on the iPad Pro? Always curious to know your thoughts, but again, stay tuned for WWDC this year. It's right around the corner. Very excited for it. Comment down below your thoughts on it and what would make WWDC a success for you versus a failure. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin. If you want to watch some more videos like this one, check out one of these right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone. iPadOS, I think it's going to be a sleeper hit at WWDC.